Hello, what's up? Alright, next up, I'm gonna do, and you're gonna watch me do, we're gonna do Snake from Metal Gear Solid. I haven't done this look in a long time. I did it when I was back years ago in college. So I'm gonna do it again and hope I can do it well again. Now, I'm particularly gonna be going for Naked Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3 just because that's pretty much my favorite Metal Gear Solid game. I think it's a lot of people's, obviously. So we're gonna do that. First step, get your hair out of the way. Next step, get those eyebrows out of here. We don't need them. Okay, now that we're powdered on the eyebrows, I'm gonna go in with my foundation and cover everything. Now, powder everything so you don't get greasy and gross, and especially powder the eyebrows. Okay, now that you're a blank canvas and honestly a little bit scary, we're gonna start in the eye area. So the shading, the lining, some eyebrows maybe. The shading and the lining to start off with. Gotta get his good eye shape down. To do that, once again, I'm gonna take this palette. Woo! Yeah! And I'm gonna take the two browns, this one, and probably some of the black, and just start shading from my reference picture. Let's go! So far I'm just gonna start putting some brown into my crease and inner corner and just kind of make everything look like my brow bone is lower than it actually is. So I'm just creating depth. So he also has like a, the lid skin is like going over his eye a little bit on the outer corner. This is really old PlayStation graphics, so bear with me here. I'm just gonna tuck some brown on my outer corner and pointing it slanted downwards out that way. And then I'm also fading that a bit into my upper lash line. Hopefully that's just gonna create an illusion of lower brow bone, covered up eyeball, other such things. You know, you don't. That's why you're watching. Or maybe you just like me, I don't know. Anyway, keep doing stuff. I'm also gonna tuck some brown under the eye to simulate a little bit of like eye puffiness, even though he doesn't really have puffy eyes, but there's a shadow right here. And mix the brown and black. My pizza's done! Oh boy! Anyway, I'm back. So I'm gonna let my pizza cool real quick. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Mix a little bit of the brown and the black on the innermost corner and just shade on your lash line. It's gonna create more of a shadow. You. And honestly, that's pretty much the majority of it. What's really gonna help pull it together is the rest of the face, obviously. But I'm gonna go in with some eyeliner, and line my eyes. I'm going to line my eyes all the way, all around. My eyes are more like rounder than his are, so I'm gonna make them smaller by lining directly on the waterline. And also in the game he kind of looks like he has eyeliner, so that's kind of cute. And you also want to take some of the eyeliner and drag it down that slanted downward line that we shaded earlier, just because it looks like that. And also, to shape my eye more like his, I'm going to go on my upper lash line and basically follow that shadow wing that we placed earlier. Now see how lining the entire inner rim of my eye, including that little point out there, kind of makes my eye a whole lot more smaller than, say, this side. It also elongates it a little bit by putting that little wing there. There's some dumbass that just revved his motorcycle just to park somewhere. So anyway, what was that? Anyway, just keep going back and forth with the shading. You should get a reference picture. Reference pictures are great for art to make sure that you're making the correct shapes. I'm gonna do what I did on this eye to this eye. Okay, now that I have both eyes pretty much done, I'm gonna go and do his eyebrows, because we have none. But the issue is, because of the shitty graphics of the time, you can't really see eyebrow hairs on any of the reference pictures. I'm particularly doing the one where he's in the forest, right? In all of the reference pictures, it just doesn't look like he has any eyebrows, which is hilarious. But I still have to put some on, or else I'm not gonna look right. I'm gonna take, golly. I'm just gonna take some of the browns, probably the cool tone brown, take some of it off on my hand, and just have a little bit on the brush, and just guesstimate where it's gonna be. They're gonna be around this height. So just hope for the best and do it. Remember, he's in a scowl. He's scowling constantly, I guess. And this is why we need to take away our eyebrows, because it doesn't look like he has any at all. You're also going to want to bring the eyebrow more inward if you have a wider in between the eyebrows area in order to create his like nose shape, because his nose is pretty straight and narrow. It's really just a whisper of an eyebrow. I'm just patting it over, and that's just from one dip of my little brushy, because I don't think I could do anything else. Yeah, that's pretty much that. But anyway, do that on that side. So now that the eyebrows are just a whisper, just something there to make it look like you're scowling more, like you're really concentrating on eating that rat. You know what I mean? I'm gonna move on to the nose. I'm gonna take those browns again. You really only need a cool tone brown, a warm tone brown, and a black to do a lot of different makeup looks. Right? From head on, it looks like his nose is honestly a little crooked on the bridge here. Like it goes a little bit more to the right, which is fascinating. But that could just be a slight angle on him. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, so I'm gonna take, again, little brushy, that kind of skinny, little bit blendy, and start mapping out the nose. Literally straight lines into like a downturned arrow where his nose turns down a little bit and his nostrils go upwards. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. Whoa, that's a lot of pigment. If that ever happens, just change sides. So it's literally just gonna be a straight-ish line, except for it's pretty much this area where there looks like it shifted a little bit that way. Could be from a broken nose, healing not exactly correct, you know. And you're gonna wanna fade that a little bit up towards the start of the eyebrow that you drew. Then you're gonna drag it all the way down to the tip of your nose. And you're gonna stop just before this last little bit right here. You're going to take the shading from that inner area and just go upwards and then like kind of square it off. And I hope you can see that it's working. And then I'm also gonna shade around my actual nostril flesh bit, and it helps create that illusion. And to assist that illusion, you're gonna wanna take the brown outer corner of your nose, just put it right there, and it's gonna create a shadow, causing the eye to think that this bit right here doesn't exist, and that your nose goes upward. And it is funny sticking a brush into your nose, I will tell you that. I've done it many a times now with face paint, eyeshadows, blood. So take the brown and put it where this bit, I'm changing that. I'm shading it on the sides to make it look pointier, which will also cause it to face downward because I'm not shading in front of it here, I'm shading behind where it naturally dips. And then take a really fluffy brush with honestly no product and just blend outwards of those harsher lines that you did on the nose. Try not to blend on the inner because we want that sharper for the illusion to work out. This lighting is probably not the best, but that's pretty much it. See how it drastically changed my nose? Like that don't look real. That's not my nose, that's my nose. Okay, now we're gonna go to the facial shading, and that's gonna include the, what are they called? The 11s? They call them the 11s. Somebody calls them the 11s. Gonna shade cheek area and a little bit of the sides and forehead. I'm not gonna shade or do anything yet with my chin or jaw area because I'm gonna paint a beard on there. Let's do that. Now mapping out these cheek ones, it's kind of hard if you don't have them yourself. You really just have to see what lines connect to what lines and what region of the face it is to match up where the lines should be. It looks like it goes from his inner corner eye bag to about here. So I'm just gonna mark that real quick. And then it just goes straight down. Just like that. And then do that on the other side. Good luck with that. Now I know this looks weird. Now I know that sounds bad. Yeah, we get it. You take the little blending brush again and start blending that out. You can even grab a little bit more shadow and blend it. Try to keep the line that you drew the most pigmented. It helps with the depth. So I'm just gonna shade on the outside of these lines instead of the inside. He does have a bit of shading for like cheekbones here. I'm just gonna do a very, very small bit, rub a lot of it off on my hand, and then just go where my cheekbones naturally are. A lot of this area is gonna be covered with beard, so you don't even have to be super precise with that kind of thing. And there's also gonna be, you know, the markings on his face, so you can kind of relax with that. I'm just gonna shade a little bit on the sides here. And now on the forehead, he has a more straight across hairline than I do, so I'm just gonna shade more into the center of my forehead to bring that down and make it a little more straight across. You can also use this for Solid Snake. You can age this up for Big Boss, for Venom Snake, any of that, because they all pretty much have the same face. So you could really use this for all of the snakes. Just change the prosthetics or face paint or whatever you have it, and then also the outfit. And you can use this for any snake. But I'm going with specifically Snake Eater Snake. And let's also not forget the lip. I'm gonna go underneath his lip, kind of extend and darken out my natural darkness, I guess. He has actually kind of thin lips, but if you have bigger lips, then I would recommend shading on top of your actual bottom lip. Make sure you have concealer covering your lips. It's gonna make your lips a lot skinnier. We're not doing trends. We're turning our faces into beautiful men. That's a nice trend. Wish more would do that. Oh, I almost forgot. Blend these 11 lines just a little bit. They are very, there's a word that I can't use, but they're there. They're very, you know, so you don't want to blend them out too much. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the beard. And then after the beard, we'll do the camo face paint, grease paint. We're not actually using grease paint. I'm not, at least. Ew. But anyway, let's do the beard. So the beard is going to be a mixture of brown face paint and black face paint. You can also use eyeshadow for this because PlayStation graphics, it's not like three-dimensional, it's not like highly textured, so you can really get away with just painting on the beard instead of sticking like crepe hair to your face or making a prosthetic or any of that. It's honestly pretty cool. Whatever brush you want to use. Oh, I just threw that. Also, I'm gonna be streaming in like half an hour. I haven't finished eating. I haven't eaten at all, actually. And I thought to film a video. Get a good reference picture of his beard and just start going in. Just try to do up and down strokes to try to mimic the look of PlayStation graphic hair. And I'm starting with the brown, and then I'll go in with the black later to darken and deepen things. Now that you mapped out pretty much most of it, go in with your black and start deepening that a little bit more. Or a mixture of brown and black, actually. That would work really nicely. I can't believe I'm rushing! Damn it! I promised myself I wouldn't rush, that's why I started so early, but I was like, oh, let me just set up the camera and record this. It won't take that long. It's taking that long. It's taking longer than I wanted to. Weirdly enough, I know guys know this already, but mustaches go a little bit into the nose, so don't forget to do that. You're gonna want to go in with the black again, but a really, really skinny brush to make more individual hairlines. But you just don't want like a block of color. Like that! Oh, I have 20 minutes. We're gonna finish this off with the camo markings. Now they are green, so you're gonna want to take a dark, it's a really like muted, darkish green. I'm gonna use Juvia's Place palette. Woo, 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 woo! I'm gonna use this green up here. There's a green up here. It's a very muted green. A really fluffy brush. Get a lot of color on that. And make sure you're doing the correct areas of the face. And just start stamping in that color. Then I'm gonna concentrate a lot of the pigment towards the outer bit of the face. If you're wearing a bandana, you don't have to do any of this because you're doing a different snake or a different portion of Snake's plot. You know what? Get that fucking costume on because we are done! I mean, obviously we have to put hair on, but just kidding. If you have a mullet like I do, then you're good to go, bud. You just gotta adjust your hair. Tuck these away. But do not forget the signature snake swoop of a bang. That's it. I got it. I'm gonna go put on just like a green something on top here. And also, I don't have blue contacts. So if you have blue contacts, blue, gray contacts, put them in now. And I'll be right back. Hi, what do we think? I think I did good. So I just literally put a green leather jacket on over a black t-shirt and I'm wearing a backpack. I'm gonna do some posing. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you like what I did here. Subscribe if you want to see more. Go into the description, follow all my socials, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye!